What's up, family? Welcome back to Patient X Holistic Healing, where we talk about the mental, spiritual, and physical sides of healing, right? Today's video, we're going to talk about why boring people get rich. Boring people be rich as hell. They got a boring job, do the most boringest shit, they're disciplined, they're always bored. Why? We're going to talk about it today. If you haven't seen me before, my name is Professor X. I'll be your healing coach and spiritual teacher today, right? So without further ado, let's get right into it. First, I want to start out with a story, right? I forgot where I was at, but I was talking to this lady. She started talking to me and the people around me like, no, I pity you guys. You guys are young. It's really hard in the economy right now and blah, blah, blah. You know, you guys are going to really have to go get it. And I'm thinking, yeah, I got XYZ going on. I'm trying to do this, that, and the third. I ain't give her too much information, but I told her enough. And she told me, she like, hey, have you considered doing something boring? And I looked at her, I'm like, what is this lady talking about? I dislike it when people try and give me advice or take me off my path by giving me some game. This time I listened though. It intrigued me. I'm like, what is she talking about? Do something boring. I guess whatever I told her I wanted to do was too flashy. You feel me? And I agree. She told me that she knew this dude, right? And he makes millions of dollars monthly selling doors. This nigga sells doors, bro. He sells doors. Millions. And I think to myself, I'm like, I'm not doing something right. It's something I'm not doing right. Like, it's just not connecting. It's something I'm not doing. And then I thought further, I'm like, I'm doing too much. I'm doing too much. And from that moment, I restructured my whole situation. I'm on a whole different trajectory now. I'm still doing what I was doing before, but it's going to be way different. It's going to be formed in a boring fashion. And this is what I mean. Look at the richest people in the world today, bro. The richest people in the world today. It's not your favorite pop star or rock star. It's not your favorite news anchor. These people got money. It's not your favorite sports player, NASCAR driver. These people got money. They got money. Everybody got money. Come on, man. Everybody got money. Let me redirect you to the top. The tip top. You want to know how the richest people in the world make money? They sell you gas so you can get to work. They sell you socks that you got from Walmart. They sell you fruits and vegetables at the grocery store. They sell you fucking healthcare and life insurance and shit like that. They sell you car insurance. Maybe they sold you a car. Like, that's a little bit, it can be flashy, but this stuff is mundane. It's regular everyday stuff. This is why I switched my role in life to an essential worker. I'm an essential worker now. You feel me? And I'll always be employed now. The end goal is not employment. I don't want to be employed. I want my own stuff. But even that, I'm going to set it up in an essential way so that people need my business. This is how you always make money. And this is how you make the most money. You could appeal to the most people. To be honest, let's take it down a little bit. Let's stop looking all the way at the top. Those are some special cases. They're not that special, because you could do it too. But let's bring it down to everyday average people that you might see. Old dude driving by with his company car. He got a plumbing business. You feel me? In a company truck. Who do you think is making more money? Him, who started his business maybe in his 30s, and now he's maybe 60. He got to a point where he could employ other independent contractors and independent plumbers to work for him. Who do you think got more money? Him or, your favorite rapper? I'm just gonna be real, man. Unless your favorite rapper is Drake, the plumber is making more money any day. It's plumbers. They done started their business at maybe 20, 30 years old. Now they 60. They got coverage all over their state, maybe even all over the country, making millions of dollars a year, unclogging shit from drains. You see what I'm saying? So when I realized this, I had to reframe. I had to reframe my life. Who you think got more money? The person who made a contracting business, they do construction. They started a construction business in their 30s. You see what I'm saying? Maybe the first few contracts were low level. Maybe they built a bathroom or some shit like that. But then they started building residential. They started building private buildings and big company buildings. You know what I'm saying? Corporate. Who do you think is making more money? Him or your favorite basketball player. I'm not gonna lie, your favorite basketball player, depending on who it is, they probably making more money. But the average basketball player, the construction dude is making way more money any day. They probably make more money in a month than the average NBA player is making in a year. And that's just facts. Facts. It's only a certain amount of people that watch basketball, y'all. I don't even know how they got so much money in the first place, to be honest. But you want to know what's real? Every single building in this world was built by a construction company. Period. You know how many buildings there are in the world? You know how many toilets there are in this world? You know how many pipes there are in this world? Everybody need a plumber. Everybody need a construction manager. Everybody need these things. You feel me? Everybody need housing. Somebody needs to rent. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see it's a big trend right now. People starting rental properties and, things of that nature. Rental businesses, selling cars, leasing out this, that, and the third. Boring. Yawn. But they're making millions a month. And this is why you got to stop looking at these people who flash their bread, These pop stars and these rock stars, these rappers, whoever, they be flexing their shit. They look cool and yada, yada, yada. But 9 times out of 10, that money is not theirs. They're getting finessed by the record label or finessed by whatever agency runs them. They're getting finessed. They do everything. They buy everything with loans, and that's not bad. I'll do another video about that. But they can't pay back the loan, which is bad. Defaulting on loans and shit. You don't want to be in these situations, and you don't want to chase glam. Not everything that glitters is gold. True gold is the thing that we can all possess. If you're selling something that's so niche that maybe people can't buy it or it's not relatable to people, they not gonna buy it. You out here trying to sell wealth and sell glam and shit. Whole time people is out here struggling. People can't even pay their rent. People can't even buy groceries from the store. You out here wearing a gold chain talking about, get like me, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? That shit only lasts for so long. It's not going to be any type of longevity behind that. I want to get into the type of businesses that I could run for a lifetime and I can pass them to my kids. They could run it for a lifetime. They can pass it to their kids, run it for a lifetime, and it'll still be up and running. It'll still last. It'll still have its longevity. And these are the essential fields. Some of y'all have clothing brands, and that's an essential field as well. People don't look at it like that. They look at it as glam and stuff. They're selling luxury clothing. But truth be told, if you broaden your audience to, a more regular or normal, mundane type of clothing, you could have that in business for generations. And I know that goes against the whole individuality movement that is going on today. But I'm here to tell you, you could be an individual, but the business could be some normal shit. Really. It could be just some normal stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being normal. You feel me? When I reach whatever heights that I'm going to reach in life, I strive to be normal. I want to maintain my mundaneness. I don't want to be this spectacle that every time you get around me, I'm just offsetting the balance. I want to just pull up and provide what people need. You feel me? And the people who hold down society, they don't really get remembered, to be honest. But I'm not in this shit to get remembered, and neither should you. You should be in this shit to enjoy your life to the fullest and help other people enjoy their lives to the fullest. You see what I'm saying? Raise everybody's frequency. That's what I'm in it for. You feel me? I'm not going to tell you what you need to do, but I'm just going to tell you what's going to make you some real money. This is coming from somebody who does not care about the flashy shit, but by nature, the things that I wanted to do in life were very flashy. You feel me? But when I had this conversation with this lady, I'm like, man, she right. She right. I'm going to start selling doors. I'm going to start selling window panes. You feel me? I'm going to start selling plungers. You feel me? Whatever. Something that everybody needs, bro. And you'll see the people on TikTok shop, they do this. They sell regular everyday shit and they making bank off that TikTok shop. On a discipline aspect, people who are focused and they're really making money and they have things to do, when they're not doing those things, they really just let life pass them by. And I don't mean, fucking off life and not doing shit. I mean being present and aware in the moment. This is important when regulating your nervous system. You have to do this when you're trying to get rich anyway, because you have to feel like you can actually get rich, number one. Number two, you have to be grounded in the present to allow these things to come in. If you're not grounded in the present, all your manifestations is just going to be loosey-goosey out in the astral. You got to be present and ground them things into the physical. Some boring practices that could help you manifest whatever level of money you want to get to, or whatever level, whatever state you want to get to, really, because boring and stillness is how anything can flow into your life. So without further ado, me personally, I don't listen to any music. No music. And that's crazy because I'm a musician, lifelong musician. And I got to a point where I couldn't listen to anybody else anymore. I could only listen to my music. It was the only frequency that I liked. I could only tune to that frequency. And even then, I got to a point where I was listening to music too much. The headphones in all day, not talking to nobody. I had to stop that. I don't listen to any music anymore. Boring practice number 2, I don't watch TV or Netflix or anything like that. I might watch one show every once in a while if my spirit guides want me to watch that. For the most part, I don't watch TV. I do watch YouTube, but I don't be stuck on that hole all day. Boring practice number 3, I don't have any Instagram, TikTok, none of that on my phone. I don't scroll. Boring practice number 4, I work out every day and I don't listen to no music while I'm doing it. Now, this is really hard for some people. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be in the gym, no solo dolo, free balling it out. You know what I'm saying? I just got the gym music and the clanking of iron. You feel me? But it's really not about the music aspect. It's really just the working out every day and exercise. You know what I'm saying? I don't really work out. I exercise. That's 2 different things. Boring practice number 5, I have shit to do every day. You know what I'm saying? And it's not really interesting stuff. Making these videos is probably the most fun part of my day. Then I got to edit. It's monotonous. Then I got to, study. That's monotonous. I go to school. That's monotonous. Nothing I do is particularly interesting. But what this does is it regulates my dopamine. You see what I'm saying? Look at somebody who is a drug addict and then look at somebody who is boring as fuck. These 2 people are 2 opposite sides of the spectrum, and one person is winning and one person is losing. When you're high on drugs like cocaine, ecstasy, what these drugs do is they release your full dopamine supply at one point. Literally all at once, they just release it. And that's why you feel so good. It's the dopamine. It's the serotonin. It's the oxytocin. But once you recover from this, it leaves you with a crash because now you have no more dopamine. And no matter what you do, you can't feel good again because your body is out of the chemical. It needs to produce more chemicals to release. So that being said, let's look at the boring person now. The boring person, they control their dopamine. All of it is just locked away in a cage, but it's growing. You see, and whenever they want to, they can spontaneously manifest. If they're tapped in, they can spontaneously manifest a good mood and keep that regular dopamine feeling throughout the day rather than just losing it all at once. When you're scrolling, you're losing your dopamine all at once. When you're engaged, when you're eating all the time, you're losing your dopamine all at once. Engaged in, various activities that, to be honest, you don't need to do. I suffer from this sometimes as well. I like to multitask, but, it's beneficial to just focus in the moment and let life just pass you by. It builds your dopamine supply and it regulates your nervous system, which you need to do to get rich. I'll make a whole video about that, about how rich people don't be emotional and they have their emotions and nervous system regulated. It's not because they're heartless. It's because they're regulated. Not everything requires a emotional response, and happy is an emotion. Feel me? You don't always need to necessarily be happy either. You could just be cool, and that's really what you want to be in life. You want to be peaceful. I'd rather be peaceful over happy, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna leave it right there, man. Hopefully I left y'all with some food for thought, because this is something that you should take into account. If you took anything from this video, simplify the route. Simplify. You feel me? Most people are just regular. They just want their regular basic necessities. And if you could provide that to people in mass, you could be a very wealthy person. If you want to know more about wealth, I got a video right here talking about aura and the 5 levels of wealth. 6, actually. I added a new level to wealth. So, go listen up on that. I give a lot of beautiful gems on how to manifest, the proper abundance in your life and the key points that you got to hit. That being said, man, I'm going to leave it to y'all. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for making it this far. You are a real one. Please leave down any type of comments or concerns in the comments below. If you have anything to add to the conversation, let me know, let others know, so we can enrich the community and, cultivate a family. You know what I'm saying? Y'all in my Patient X family. Thank you for watching Patient X Holistic Healing. My name is Professor X, and I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.